Hey everyone, it's Intel here. So in this video, I want to talk about why I personally dislike double clicking and drag clicking and explain some of the negative effects that I think that they introduce into the PvP community. Double clicking and drag clicking are two different clicking methods that you can use to increase your click speed, but these clicking methods are exclusive to certain mice. And before I get into this any further, I do want to say that because this video is going to be one of my more controversial uploads, I know there's a lot of people who double click and drag click. I just want to say that this is not a video that's attacking those people. If you're someone who double clicks or drag clicks, then that's completely fine. I'm not asking you to change your clicking method, but I just want to bring up some of my concerns with this whole meta that utilizes mice that are essentially faulty and have lower debounce times to get a click speed advantage over people who normally wouldn't be able to have that. And this video is also very opinionated. If you don't agree with me, then I'd love to see why you disagree with me in the comments. Maybe we can get some sort of discussion going. And also, one last thing, this video is sponsored by the Archon. More info on that is in the description as well as at the end of the video. But anyways, with all that aside, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so let's start off with double clicking. So what double clicking is when you tap your mouse button and it will register 2 or 3 clicks instead of just 1 click. Double clicking is most commonly found in butterfly clicking, which I'm sure everyone knows, and it's how people are able to get 20 plus CPS while butterfly clicking while only hitting their mouse button around 10 times a second. And this does make a difference in PvP because the higher your CPS, the less knockback you're gonna take while fighting someone, and that makes it easier to combo your opponent. By the way, if you're having trouble following me, then I have videos explaining double clicking as well as how CPS affects PvP, and I will leave both of those videos in the description if you're confused. Now, if double clicking was something that you could do on any mouse, then I would not be complaining about it. But it's the fact that double clicking is so exclusive nowadays to certain mice, and the list of mice that are able to double click is just getting shorter and shorter because more companies are innovating to prevent their mice from double clicking. Okay, so let me give you a good idea of how exclusive double clicking is nowadays on gaming mice. So I own a lot of gaming mice. I use them to make videos with. I have about 15 different gaming mice, and out of those 15, only 3 of those mice double click. These 3 mice are the Glorious Model O, the Rocat Cane 100, and the Bloody A Bedless, and coincidentally, these are the mice that I dislike using almost the most. The Glorious Model O just has an unideal shape for me, and I don't like how the clicks feel. The Bloody A Bedless is an absolute brick, and it just sucks to use in PvP. I made a whole video on it. I'd say the most usable one for me is the Cane, but even still, the Cane is still a very unideal mouse for me to use compared to all of my other mice, especially my G Pro Wireless, which I main. And I really dislike that if I want to achieve a certain CPS, if I want to get 20 plus CPS, then to do that, you're locked into a very select few amount of mice, some that may not even be ideal for you at all to use. So you may be thinking, then maybe more mouse companies should make their mice double click so that everyone can have a mouse that double clicks. But the exact opposite is happening because nobody values double clicking except for the Minecraft community. Double clicking is something that's obtrusive in other games, and simply, I don't think a lot of mice companies think that double clicking should even be a thing in the first place. Why should you be able to tap your mouse button once and get multiple clicks out of it? I mean, if you think about it, that whole mechanic doesn't really make a lot of sense, and it's easy to see why most mouse companies are avoiding that. A lot of people see double clicking as a feature, but in reality, what it really is the result of faulty hardware from the past. It's not a feature. The 2 biggest gaming mouse companies, which are Razer and Logitech, are both actively moving away from double clicking. Most of their newer products don't double click at all, and I feel like they sort of set the standard for a lot of other brands. And the list of the amount of mice that are being released nowadays that can't actually double click is getting shorter and shorter. And it really makes me concerned for the future of this community. If in 3 or 4 years from now, competitive 1.8 PvP still exists, then are competitive players going to be buying mice that are like 5+ years old just so they have the ability to double click? I don't know about you guys, but to me that just sounds like a terrible environment to be a part of. Gaming mice have been innovating a lot within the past few years. You have things like 8K polling rate becoming normalized, improved wireless technologies, lower weight than what was thought possible, and better shapes, but it pains me that a large portion of the PvP community is never going to see any of these innovations because these newer mice don't double click, and they will value double clicking over any other feature that a gaming mouse has. They could have a mouse that's perfect for them in all other aspects, but they'll sacrifice it just to have a mouse that can double click, and I feel like this is a really terrible environment to introduce other new players to. You guys might have been wondering why I haven't mentioned drag clicking yet. Well, drag clicking is more or less the same way. If you want to get high CPS drag clicking, you can only do it on mice that can double click, and there are certain bridging styles like God bridging and telly bridging which are more or less exclusive to mice that can drag click. It's not as bad on my opinion because a lot of the things that you can do with drag clicking isn't actually all that practical in a competitive environment like PvP, but it still does mean that if you want to get into the bridging community and if you want to be able to compete with other players, then you're pretty much forced to buy a mouse that double clicks. It's once again gatekeeping to the community, and it's something that I don't particularly enjoy. On my opinion, I think that servers shouldn't allow double clicking or drag clicking, at least in PvP. There's a lot of servers that already do this but don't really enforce their rules, which is unfortunate. Another thing that could be done, which I know that Lunar has done in the past, is introduce a left click CPS cap on the server. And basically what this does is makes it so that when you click above a certain CPS, then those clicks won't be registered by the server. On my opinion, these are two decent solutions that I'd like to see multiplayer servers introduce to their servers, but you can let me know what you think in the comments. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about are double clicking and drag clicking content creators, primarily drag clicking content creators because I feel like this happens a lot more with them. And I want to bring up a concern that I have with a lot of these content creators who I believe are partly responsible for getting a lot of players false banned on different multiplayer servers. On a lot of different multiplayer servers, if you double click or you drag click, that will set off anti-cheat logs and that will get you banned. Hypixel is even one of those servers. It's been shown that if you drag click on your left click on Hypixel, that will get you banned very fast. And something that makes no sense to me is how Hypixel allows a lot of their content creators to promote a clicking method that can get other players banned. If you look at a lot of the big content creators that drag click on Hypixel, and I don't want to name them because I don't want to directly call them out, first of all, they have YouTube rank, so regardless of whether or not they drag click on their left click, they're not going to get banned because if you have YouTube rank, you bypass the Hypixel anti-cheat. If you didn't know that was a thing, well, now you do. If you have YouTube rank, you will not get Watchdog banned by Hypixel. And second of all, even if these content creators are only drag clicking to bridge, which is not something that can get you banned, your average player who watches them isn't going to know that there's going to be a difference between drag clicking on your left click and your right click. I'm willing to bet that there have been a lot of players who have watched Hypixel content creators drag click and have tried it on their left click on Hypixel and have gotten banned immediately after. And if you think I'm exaggerating, about a month ago I made a poll on my community tab asking people if they had ever been banned on a server for double clicking or drag clicking. In this poll, 26% of people answered yes, and this is out of 32,000 votes. That's a lot of people. And I strongly believe that content creators are one of the biggest sources for all of these false bans because they're promoting a clicking method that could get you banned without informing you at all that this is a clicking method that can get you banned. So do I think that all of these content creators who are drag clicking and double clicking in their videos need to change their clicking method? No, but I do think that at the very minimum, content creators should be required to put a disclaimer somewhere in their video or at least in the description of their video telling you that the clicking method that they're using is something that could get you banned on certain servers. And I also think that Hypixel should be more responsible and enforce this with everyone who has YouTube rank on their server. The fact that Hypixel allows their content creators to promote clicking methods that can get you banned without enforcing any rules or regulations that they have to follow is completely irresponsible. Anyways, that's pretty much all I have to say with this video, so whether or not you agree or disagree with me, I'd love to see your opinions in the comments section. If you want to help further support me, then you can check out my Lunar Client cosmetics, they're in the description of the video. And before the video ends, I want to take a brief moment to talk about our sponsor, the Archon Network. For a limited time, you can claim a free rank on the Archon. All you have to do is go to shop.thearchon.net, click on free rank, enter your username, select a realm, and then enter my coupon code INTEL, and you'll get a special $5 rank that will make the server more fun. Join with the IP intel.archonhq.net with any version from Minecraft 1.8 all the way up to the latest version and start playing. I'll see you guys there.